You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
Why you gotta take it there?
Retake. This isn't better.
We're not talking about any integrity in
We
this
are
room.
trying to exploit a generation.
Ever tell you about that time when I paid for Chinese food with the DVD? The grease is the gravy.
You guys played footsie under the table.
Yes, but that's irrelevant.
I can smell Pepto-Bismol from here. It tastes like an antacid tablet. Why are there so many Draculas everywhere? No. There's vampires everywhere.
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 206. I'm your host, John Rowe, joined by my co-host,
Adam Ham.
That's right. Oh God, I gotta think of an adjective. I can't forget that. I mean, I've already forgotten it. My bountiful co-host.
Oh, wow. Great.
What's wrong with bountiful?
I don't know. I don't know.
You're like the
Makes-
pilgrims.
It makes it sound like there's an overabundance of me.
Oh, well, our listeners would definitely say that's not the case. Giving generously. That's one. You're magnanimous. Open-handed, unselfish, unstinting, lavish.
I like magnanimous.
There you go, Adam.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's just get right to it.
Okay.
Let's get to it, Pruitt.
Yeah.
I want to say that this episode will crash in the middle because my computer will crash. I know I've said this and it hasn't happened yet, but I know it will.
Okay.
So be ready for that because I saw a couple of the blips that happen sometimes. Where the screen, like little lines will skitter across the screen and then it'll stop, but it hasn't. It's my fault for playing Counter-Strike Go before we started recording. If you play any video game, the card will crash a little bit afterwards, usually. But sometimes it won't. For days on end. So I don't know. Fucking video card, man. Anyway,
Yeah.
what did you do all week, Adam? It's been a week.
It's
Been a week and a day. 'Cause Adam
Yeah.
had the vapors yesterday. So we got all sorts of stuff to do. What did you do, Adam?
Didn't do much.
Really?
Saw the Ghostbusters trailer.
Okay, yeah,
Watched some Pokemon movies.
that happened today.
Yeah. Watched some Pokemon movies. Played some more Pokemon.
Okay.
My 4th gym badge in the Johto region.
Okay. Which Pokemon is this?
soulsilver,
Okay.
which is like story-wise like the 2nd generation, but it's a remake like from the 4th generation, so there's a bunch more Pokemon in it, and it's kind of more up to date with mechanics.
Okay.
That's mostly what I did. I played a lot of Pokemon, hung out with my sister and her boyfriend a few nights.
Are they in the Pokemon fever as well?
Yeah, he is.
He's deep in. What particular game?
He
This
had
is-
soulsilver as well, and he traded it in for like
$800?
No, 300.
Okay.
30. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. I think that thing sells for 50.
Yeah.
Why didn't he
traded it
just
for,
sell
like,
it on
30.
Amazon himself?
I don't know. He traded it in for Omega Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
I
I have Alpha Sapphire.
Great. Cool.
I know.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I've been playing it a bunch actually. Yeah, so I guess it's basically like Pokemon XY,
Yeah.
but with like the story and all the stuff from Pokemon Alpha Sapphire,
Yes. Which
or
is the
from
one-
Sapphire Ruby, or Emerald,
yeah.
if you will.
Which is the one actually that's after the one that I'm doing.
Correct. Yeah. I played the original Silver on my Game Boy
Yeah.
when it came out.
Cool.
I think I beat that one as well. But I had never really played. I'd played a tiny bit of Emerald. I think there are some videos to that effect on my YouTube channel of Lauren and I playing that, but never really got into it. So yeah, I played a ton. I think I'm probably an average party level of maybe 18 right now.
Yeah.
Got 2 badges.
Nice.
Rocking that. And have you played any of Sapphire or Ruby?
No.
You should. It's great.
Well, yeah. But I plan on, finishing this one first.
Are you excited?
Yes.
For Moon and Sun? I wanna say?
Yes.
Sun and Moon? Sun and
and
Stars? My Sun and Stars? Pokemon?
Sun and Moon.
My Sun and My Moon. Khaleesi. The Pokemon game. Adam.
Yeah.
There is some awesome stuff in these other games that you'll never see. Like, you're playing this old version that you don't have all these awesome ease of life upgrades and stuff, and like the super training and the Pokemon search service and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that I could just do wonder trades, which are like my favorite thing in the entire world. Do you know what a wonder trade is?
You just trade one Pokemon for like another one randomly,
Yep.
right?
You
Not
just
randomly.
throw one out. So it's like, oh shit,
Yeah,
I caught too many of these guys, so send one out. And then I ended up getting some pretty good stuff in return. I got a Wingull back, which I already had, but it was like a level 21, so it was a little bit better. And the nice thing about that is the traded Pokemon gain experience way faster.
Oh, yeah.
So, but you can't change the name. So this Growlithe, level 1 Growlithe that I got, which is awesome because I don't have any fire Pokemon, so that's great.
He's a cool looking one too.
Yeah, he is. And but he's got some crazy like Japanese characters as his name. So it's like, well, can't change any you can't change nicknames of Pokemon.
No, you can't. It's so weird too because there's a couple like just NPCs in towns that you can trade with too. And Soul Silver. And so I've got like a stupid Onyx named Rocky and a Machop named like Muscles or some shit.
Yeah.
Which I can't change because they're ones that are in the game that you just trade for and
Pokemon. Yep. Pokemon question.
Yes.
Are you for or against nicknames?
I'm against it.
I have nicknamed every single Pokemon I've ever owned.
It's just too much work.
It's awesome. Every time I catch a Pokemon, I have to think of a nickname.
Oh.
And it's crazy.
That's terrible.
I've got quite a few characters. I've got Swampy Pete, my Swampert.
Oh, man.
I've got Grumpy Gary, who is I forget the name of it. That's the problem, is that you don't know the names of the actual Pokemon you have.
I was going to say.
But he's Grumpy Gary. I've got Lady Gaga, the Dustox.
Okay.
And I don't know. I got all sorts of crazy names for my Pokemons. But I think it's fun. It adds a little bit of extra, a little bit of spice of life to your Pokemon. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of times, like, if like when you get NPCs that will, like, trade you a Pokemon in the game, right?
Uh-huh.
And, like, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, it's this is my Pokemon, and it's, like, a slightly differently spelled version of the actual Pokemon's name. You're like, that is not creative at all.
Oh my God,
check out my Pokemon named Freddie Mercury. Or my Zigzagoon named Fergie.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, but the Wonder Trade's real fun. The search service is neat. The weird Pokemon Emmy is weird. The one where you pet your Pokemon.
Oh, yeah?
Play mini games with them.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's for. I don't really even know how any of those...
their happiness.
Yeah, but I don't know what that means.
Well, some Pokemon only evolve when you like have a certain level of friendship with them.
Okay. But friendship and happiness, I feel like, are different.
No, I don't think so.
That's the thing, is that like I have all these systems, and I'm like, are these the in-game systems or not? Because they're like, if your Pokemon wins battles or doesn't, it'll get happier. But like, is that the same as the Pokemon Emmy happiness?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know though. Anyway. You think, but you don't know. And then the super training, I don't even know if that ups your stats or not. I don't think it does, right?
I think it does.
It doesn't just boost your stats. Does it boost your stats in the mini game that you play? Like,
no, I think it boosts your stats
in real life.
Yeah, I think.
But I mean, it keeps saying like HP up 8, and I'm like, there's no way I just got 8 HP for.
I think there is a way.
I don't think so. That's insane. When you have 48 HP, that you do one little mini game and you get 8 hit points. I don't think so. I have a feeling that maybe it's 8 points towards hit points.
Maybe.
That when you level up, those go up more. I think, maybe? I don't really know.
You can train Pokemon without, like, actually fighting them. That's for sure. You can level them up that way and stuff. I don't actually know, because I haven't gotten to any of that stuff in the game.
How exactly does super training work, does somebody say? I have no clue. It's an alternative method of EV training? What does that even mean?
So, like, EVs...
effort value?
Yes.
Pokemon got too complicated.
It did get really complicated. That's pretty deep, though. Well, that's deeper than I'm in, so... At least at this point. But yeah, like, I know people who know all about that shit, so I can just ask questions all the time.
Okay, so super training is like what I said. It's not a 1-to-1. So every 4 in a stat increases your max total for that stat by 1.
Oh, there you go. That's still like 2, like you said, like at a 48 HP.
Yeah,
2 HP for that.
You get
not that bad.
8 up, they get 2 HP. That's not bad. Yeah, so I'll have to do more of that, even though those mini games kind of are not super exciting.
Yeah, and I see him doing those all the time.
I like how you played Pokemon, or you played Yokai Watch, and then you were like, okay, I got to get into the real good shit now. Exactly. I got to go to the real mother.
I kind of wish I'd played a little bit more Yokai Watch, but
yeah, because you're not going to go back now.
Not until I run out of Pokemon stuff.
Not until you get that hot dog guy.
Hot dog guy.
Yeah, what was the yokai man that would
fucking
ice pup?
Yeah, Pupsicle.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
That fucking yokai.
That's right. He didn't like you. Remember we went through the how to make new friends with strangers. It didn't work, clearly.
No, it didn't.
So I want to change to the next thing I want to talk about, which is Adam.
Yes.
Pokemon superstitions. I put an article down that I thought was pretty interesting, but is there any sort of like have you heard of any of the Pokemon like superstitions that exist?
I don't know about superstitions, but I've heard of like some of the fan theories like about the Great Pokemon War.
Oh no. I'm talking about gameplay superstitions. So like
no.
So it's like weird stuff. I mean, this is like some walking under a ladder for bad luck or knock on wood or that. So here's the thing. So a lot of times, so this is like, it's kind of what's so great about Pokemon, because it kind of came out when a lot of people in our generation were in like middle school, grade school, high school, like playing a lot of games. So like, and not being smart, and the internet not really existing in a big way. Yeah. So like, one of the superstitions, I remember like kids on the playground would swear, it's like, you got to press down B after you throw a Pokeball, because it helps you capture monsters easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you hit down B, it means your Pokeball is more effective. And there's all sorts of crazy variations. There's down B. Was pretty much the most common one. One I remember is just holding the B button. And some people say mashing A and B buttons to do that. And the crazy part is everyone knows it doesn't work, but it just doesn't. And so, is there anything you do like weird with Pokemon? Because I know there's a thing I do that weird
like a weird Pokemon thing.
Mm-hmm. Like any weird like not techniques, I guess, just like little, I don't know. So let me explain the thing I do.
Okay.
And this is something I've done since I was a kid, and I just do it without even thinking when I play the new game. Like Alpha Sapphire. So I throw the Pokeball and I turn the sound off and then turn the system so I can't see it. Because I don't want to look.
That's funny.
And then I'll turn it around and I'll usually be happy because I usually do a pretty good job setting up. Or I'll be like, what the fuck? I got an Abra.
Yeah?
Oh man, that was a rush.
I've got an Abra.
Abras suck ass to catch.
Yeah.
Because they teleport on the first turn most of the time.
Yeah.
You
have to have like a quick character that has like mean look or block or something.
I actually just threw a great ball at it, and I caught it.
I guess.
I just spent the extra cash, got it, and I also got the Alakazite for the Super Evolution. So I'm excited. So I got that lined up right there.
I found out that I can never get Alakazam now because Kadabra only evolves through trading, and while my sister's boyfriend Kane had Soul Silver, we could have traded back and forth, but he traded it in for a Mega Ruby.
Oh man, I'll have to trade back and forth when I visit. Get my Alakazam.
I suppose so. I don't know if that's still the case in Sapphire and Ruby. Probably.
I don't know. I think they got rid of a lot of that because it's kind of like I mean, I appreciate the ingenuity of that, but you really have to. It just sucks because if you're a single player game or out somewhere where nobody else has the game, or if you're a little kid and you're the only one that plays Pokemon, and it's like, well, I can never get this Pokemon because I can't trade. I guess I don't know.
It's actually the truth for like a lot of them too. I can't get like Gengar or
Machamp, I understand
Machamp,
I understand if you you still have to trade to get Alakazam.
That sucks. Man. He looks cool too.
Oh man,
and you got the thing for the Mega Evolution then too. I guess then.
How to trade to get Alakazam? Let me just read.
He instantly evolves if he's above level 25 when you trade him with someone. Like you trade him, he'll evolve on their DS, and then they would have to trade them back to you.
Huh. Yeah, you really do. You really have to trade. That is awful. I hate that.
Pokemon it's always been kind of a social game where people had certain Pokemons.
Yeah, but the Alakazam thing is dumb, I guess, in the way that it's built, because it's you're never gonna trade someone like a Kadabra. You know what I mean? You're gonna trade someone a Kadabra for them to trade it right back to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just that's not right. I don't know. That seems weird. Because it's not like you're actually trading it. You're just trading it to get it back. And I'm looking online, and everyone's just got sharing friend codes. They're like, "Hey, just trade it back, please." It's this is dumb. This isn't social. This is a weird. It's a weird hurdle you have to get your thing.
Yeah. I mean, some of that's tradition too. It's just the way it was back in the day when they wanted you to buy more games.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I understand it, but it's come on. There should be another way. You know what I mean? I don't know, because it's I guess I don't know.
I mean, it annoys me too, because I'm not gonna be able to get.
It's they should have an item that allows you to bypass that, but it's super rare, or maybe one per game. So if there's the one Pokemon that you want to get through trading, you can get at least one of the ones. Because if you imagine if Alakazam is your favorite Pokemon,
and
you're well, I can't get it because I gotta go on the internet. As a child, go on the internet and ask some random stranger if I could go meet with them and trade my Alakazam, and then you're never seen again.
Well, I mean, at least for the newer versions like Ruby and Sapphire, you can do
right over the internet, yeah.
Right over the internet, but yeah.
And you think in the old days, that's a lot of kids went missing. They called it the Alakazam trick. The cops did. They're
oh man,
you go throwing up. Notes I got an Alakazam, and then I could show you my Alakazam or something, and then the kid would just go in that panel van and never be seen again. Speaking of that, I saw the movie Room.
Okay,
that's pretty good.
Okay, all right.
I'm kidding. It was a joke.
But I haven't seen Room, so I have no idea.
No one has seen Room because it never got released, really.
No. Okay.
So there's a couple other. I just wanted to talk about a couple other weird whatchamacallits,
Pokemon.
weird superstitions.
Yeah.
So I guess during now, Adam, this will play up to you.
Mm-hmm.
But around 2006 or 2007, a more ridiculous version of the superstition appeared. Some people believed if you yell or say "gotcha" into the microphone, it would increase the likelihood that their Pokeball would be successful at capturing a Pokemon. And so, there's lots of like videos on YouTube or like Yahoo Answers or threads about this. And is it real? Is this trick real? It's difficult to pinpoint where it originally started, but with microphone superstition, the origin seems clearer. So the Pokemon Chatot, I don't remember what generation Chatot is from, but here is a PDF of a game guide that says Chatot's penchant for mimicry manifests in copying abilities like Mirror Move and Mimic, as well as the Chatot exclusive Chatter move. Chatter causes confusion, and its odds of success are based on the amount of noise you make in the microphone of your Nintendo DS. So basically, you play a move and you have to yell to get it to work. And that was a thing that existed at some point, so that's not so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because the Pokemon Emmy, I guess, takes the microphone and camera into effect. So you can talk to your Pokemon or look at them, and they can tell if your face is looking at them and stuff. So it's like, is this? I don't know. There's just like kind of this undercurrent of like, do you have this deeper connection with your Pokemon possibly? Like, can they see you? Yeah.
Pokemon are always watching.
They are always watching you. They're like Gabe Newell on Steam.
Oh man.
They're always watching you. What? He's always watching.
Yeah.
He knows when you bought that game for 99 cents. Oh my god, I did my taxes.
Yeah.
And Steam does not do state tax.
Yeah.
So I had to go through and figure out how much money I spent on Steam last year so I could accurately report my taxes.
I probably shouldn't say this in a way that's recorded, but I don't bother with that shit.
I usually don't either, and they usually don't care. If it's under a certain amount of money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's like under, like, I don't know, like no one will ever know. You know what I mean? And is it worth the state to even bother you for possibly under $20 or $30 they're going to get from you for all of your purchases?
Right.
Probably not. Like, yeah, I bought $240 some of games last year on Steam, and so that ended up being like $14 in tax.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. I don't know. I had the info, so I was like, I'll do it. Because Amazon does state taxes now.
Yeah.
And it's really the only thing I buy now that isn't is Steam. So I figured, it's just one thing I have to look up. So I did. I did my taxes yesterday. So hopefully I'll get my cash back.
Cool.
So while we're on the topic, this is more in the news, but I don't have it in our news section. But there was a Nintendo Direct today, so we took a break for a day because Adam was too you were tired.
Yes, I was super tired.
You're super tired. So we waited a day, but that allowed the Pokemon or the Nintendo Direct to happen. There's no Pokemon news, but there is some other news. Splatoon's getting some new content, blah blah blah, free updates. That's awesome though. You know what I mean? Like March 8th, 2 new updates for free with game balance, matchmaking, and new weapon combination. It's like crazy. It's like this is a full price game that they're just putting content out for like almost a year after it came out.
That's cool.
Same thing with Super Mario Maker's getting keys and doors, so you can have locked doors, which is pretty badass.
Yeah.
The Persona and the Tokyo Mirage Sessions #FE, which is that weird, I think it's the Fire Emblem Cross Persona game or whatever it is. Yeah, that's that weird thing they had a trailer for last year.
Huh.
I don't know. That's coming out, but it's by the same studio from Persona, so.
Okay. Atlas.
Yeah, it's coming out.
Okay.
There's a Lost Reaver. Is the name of a game by Bandai Namco. Multiplayer zombie fighting, puzzle solving adventure game.
Oh, okay.
That looks really weird. This is a big one. actually. Paper Mario Color Splash for the Wii U. So there's a new Paper Mario game coming out for the Wii U, which is fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. Adam, did you know that Game Freak, you know that company?
The company that does Pokemon?
Yeah. They have a new game coming out called Pocket Card Jockey. Yeah, it's not Pokemon, nothing Pokemon related. Yeah. But it's interesting. So check this out. It's exactly what you think it would be. It's like solitaire, right? But the faster you solve solitaire, the quicker your horse runs in a race. Mm-hmm. So it's like a weird solitaire horse racing game, which sounds kind of neat, honestly. Let's see here. Hyrule Warriors Legends. That's the 3DS Hyrule Warriors game.
Yeah. No, I don't want that game, but I want the 3DS that comes with the special edition of that.
The pretty one?
Yes.
Bravely Second, of course, is now officially April 15th. And cool. here's a new one. Later 2016 for the 3DS. Mm-hmm. Dragon Quest VII, Fragments of the Forgotten Past. Nice. Never played Draqua 7.
No, me either.
Never did. This is then they had some more information about late spring, that Metroid Prime Federation Force game for 3DS. Everybody was pissed about because they were like, what Adam? What looked terrible about it?
Didn't you like shoot balls at things? Like it's like soccer Metroid or something?
No, it's an online multiplayer like quasi RPG. Like healing weapons. It's kind of like Destiny for Prime, Metroid Prime, maybe, because you have like can level your character class and be like a healer or a damage dealer or stuff. I don't know. The thing that has me most excited though is that Rhythm Heaven Megamix is coming out for the 3DS, and that's I guess it's a version of that came out in Japan last summer. And it's basically like the best of all the Rhythm Heaven game like mini games, and fucking Rhythm Heaven is fucking awesome. I bought the Wii version after I got the Wii U so I could play that. And, you know the Rhythm Heaven games, correct?
No.
Okay, so you played like WarioWare? The WarioWare games where it's like quick little mini games?
Yeah.
So like Rhythm Heaven is basically like rhythm tapping mini games based on like some weird quirky like animations going on the screen and like music. I really don't know how to describe it other than it's like little mini game rhythm games that are really quirky and very Japanese and fun. Like for one of the ones for the Wii version, you're like an interviewer talking to a wrestler after a match, basically, and his dialogue is like the music. And so it's like da 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 da, and then like he'll do a pose, and you have to move the microphone, so you have to like swipe, and so he doesn't move away from his mouth, and it's all to like rhythm to a song. It's actually really quirky and weird and fun, kind of like the those games are. I fucking love them though, and they're hard as hell because you have to be precise with the rhythm. Like these are like a rhythm. This is probably the most precise rhythm game ever, and like you have to do like syncopation and stuff on some of them, and it's just. It's hard to wrap your mind around. So yeah, that's I wanted to talk about that because that happened today, and so some cool stuff coming out. Rumor still abound about the NX coming out this year.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Makes sense.
I mean, it does and it doesn't. It doesn't seem like they have a strong Wii U lineup for the fall. You know,
right?
Which leads you to believe that, you know, they don't want to talk about it because they don't want to let anything slip, so.
They've said for a while that, like, they were going to talk about or unveil the NX this E3, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but it was like, they were like, I guess they didn't say when it was going to come out.
No, but it would make sense that it would come out this fall.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they were like, I think the thought was like, and they were maybe alluding to, is like, we're going to announce it next year, and then it's going to be out in 2017. But we'll see. Because I know the Wii U hasn't been selling gangbusters, although
no,
I think that Mario Maker pushed quite a bit of consoles. And people were like, hey, this game should have been available when it launched. And maybe I would have bought one right away. Because, you know, it was kind of like a killer app that the system needed. Because like the first Mario that came out for that was a fucking new Super Mario Brothers Wii U. Which is like, all right, not really exciting. And then, of course, they had 3D Land, 3D World come out, which was really good. Mm-hmm. But, you know, at that point, it had been like, what, 2 or 3 years after the console came out?
Something
so people were like, already kind of stopped caring. Let's see. What did you do? That's me for a bit.
Yeah.
Other than Pokemon, did you watch any movies?
Well, I watched the first and second Pokemon movie.
Okay. Why and how was that?
Well, I've been watching, you know, some of the show stuff too.
Why?
Yeah, why not? X and Y is not terrible. It's okay. It's pretty bad, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And I've actually kind of been watching, not really watching, I'll say, but like the very first season is really terrible. But I will play Pokemon, like have it in the background, just kind of set the mood. You know?
I like so you gotta like gotta be in the Pokemood.
I don't have to be in the Pokemon, but it helps sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like sometimes you can just get in there and play Pokemon, but sometimes you need a little light a few candles, throw on some Ash Ketchum talking over, and did you listen to the dubs or the subs?
Oh, dubs.
You do the dubs. You have to.
Yeah.
For those crappy kids cartoon ones, you kind of have to do the dubs. And to be fair, love Jesse and James in that original series.
Oh my god, they're
and
amazing.
Meowth.
Yes,
with his Brooklyn accent. Oh my god. Yeah, that show's. I watched a ton of that when I was a kid, but I was a little too old for Pokemon.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because I think I was probably like 13, 14 when that show kind of came out, and I was more into Dragon Ball Z, you know. And like Cowboy Bebop and like more adult animes and Neon Genesis Evangelion and all that shit. So I was like, oh, Pokemon, that's cute, you know. And maybe if I was 5 years younger, it would have been my starter anime. But you know,
I did actually watch like the first episode of an anime that I had not seen before. It's called Assassination Classroom.
I have heard of this. That looked cool.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like they're being taught by this weird alien guy who like blew up most of the moon.
Okay.
And
just cause
basically, and then
just
like,
cause.
Yes.
I gotcha.
He sets up a deal, I guess, with the government, and is like, "Hey, you know, I'm really gonna explode Earth as well, in like May." But in the meantime, let me teach these kids and stuff, and I won't hurt. I won't hurt any of them. I promise. And they can, if they want to, try to kill me. Yeah.
So it's like the one opportunity for him to be killed before he blows up the Earth.
Exactly. That's the deal that he makes. He says you know, because if they come at him, he'll just fucking kill them all anyway.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to play a game. I want to teach these kids in this classroom and give them chances to kill me. And if they do, you're spared. If not, I'll blow up the Earth.
Yeah, and he can't kill the kids, right?
Right, that's part of the deal.
Until the Earth blows up.
Yes, exactly. He will not harm the kids for any assassination attempts they make on him.
So that's pretty awesome. So it's like, hey, come at me, bro.
Yeah. Although I will say, I think I've seen maybe 2 episodes. Neither the first or second episode, there is kind of a underhanded tactic made. And he in 5 seconds goes and like collects all the nameplates from their houses and like is threatening them. He's like, I can't touch any of you.
Oh,
but if you do shit like this again, I could murder
all of your families,
all of your friends and family.
Wow.
Or if I want to, even everybody else on the goddamn planet besides you. So, like, don't be a dick.
Play by my rules.
Yes, basically.
Do they try and like kind of circumvent a little bit, like his?
basically
They put a tack on his seat when he's not looking.
they kind of hint that maybe he's actually kind of a good guy. Like he seems like a good teacher actually. And
Yeah.
what happened was once somebody tried to use they'd used the suicide bomb move on him kind of. And he actually protected the one who did the move, and he's like, I'm not actually mad at the method you guys used. It was a good method, but it's like you didn't care about your comrades.
Yeah, you were gonna let all the rest of these kids die.
Yeah, or at least the one who was
Yeah.
the sacrificial person. But yeah,
Sacrificial lamb.
mm-hmm. So when that happens, all the people who were involved, went and grabbed the nameplates off their houses. Was like, I will fuck them up if you do this again.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, so that I heard it was interesting. I think it got pretty good reviews. So it's
it's kind of funny, pretty interesting, and he of course is ridiculously overpowered. So you get some going on.
He's a Mary Sue.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
To use the worst term ever invented by nerds.
Yeah.
If you don't know what that means, look it up. And
he travels at Mach 20.
Yeah, that's pretty fast.
It's faster than most people.
It's faster. Well, not. I wonder how fast the International Space Station travels.
I doubt it's Mach 20. It's pretty quick.
Yeah, because jets can get up to Mach 2.
Well, even the Blackbird got up to Mach 6. I think.
Well, I know. Yeah, I'm saying but I mean even terrestrial jets can do that.
Yeah.
So it's if you can do Mach 6. I got. Let's look it up. This is a solvable problem.
Sure.
Speed of International Space Station.
Because Mach is the speed of sound, which is around 660 something miles per hour.
Huh?
Mach 1 is 660 miles an hour or something like that.
Okay, Adam. Do you want to know how many miles per hour the International Space Station's going?
It's 20,000 miles an hour.
Very close. 17 at 136.
17. So that's Mach 10, 11, 12 maybe?
So Mach... Okay, so it's Mach 10.
Yeah.
It actually... Adam, Mach 20? 15,000 miles per hour.
Really?
So he's at the space station goes fast because it's the speed of sound is the Mach.
Yeah.
And that's 700 miles per hour.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Huh.
Yep, the X-43A goes 7,000 miles per hour.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go. He travels the speed of the space station, which is actually 4.62 miles per second. Which is insane when you think about it that way. If you think about how far away work is from where I am right now, it's probably even less than 4 miles. So literally, in a blink of an eye, I could be at work, and that's how fast he moves.
Yeah.
It's basically like teleporting.
Pretty close.
It's close enough. I mean, that is some Flash business.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, too. He occasionally is oh, I'm just going to go check out this thing after school in, L.A. or whatever. And he's flying. And he comes back and he's got a missile with him. He's like, oh yeah, they tried to shoot me.
He moves too fast, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it's nothing to him. But yeah, it's interesting. Probably gonna give it a shot.
Yes.
And the Pokemon movies are
incredible.
Yes, actually.
Don't you love that the Pokemon's tears bring back Ash to life?
Oh, yes. That is the most amazing thing ever.
Yes, all the Pokemon in the entire world cry because Ash has died for their sins.
Not the entire world.
Most of the world.
Not even
Don't
really.
they cut out a bunch and they show images of Pokemon crying?
It's only... No.
Just the room?
Yes. It's all the Pokemon from 4 or 5 different trainers. Or 6. They each have 5 or so Pokemon. So
4. Because for some reason, if you're a trainer in the world of Pokemon, you have one Pokemon. And you're I could win battles 5 on 1.
You can carry up to 6.
You carry 6, man. What are you doing? Not even the gym leaders know this trick.
Some of them do. But I mean,
yes, especially late game, they figure it out.
But yeah, there's like 30. Actually, it's like maybe 60 Pokemon because it's all the genetically upgraded ones too that Mewtwo makes from the ones that come.
Yes.
So.
Mewtwo is, of course, practicing. What was that? What's that called? Selective breeding, and he's basically a Nazi. He's doing what the Nazi did.
Eugenics.
Yeah, eugenics. Thank you.
Yeah. Except not even. He just like wants to like clone better versions of everybody and murder everybody else. There's not one clone.
That doesn't sound bad at all when you say it like that.
It's kind of funny because he's totally the bad guy in the movie, but he's also created himself as an experiment, and he's just kind of confused at the beginning, and like a bad guy tries to influence him and like make him his Pokemon. He's like, fuck that, I'm no one's slave, I'm gonna murder the world. So he kind of does.
Shit.
Yeah, he tries to.
Well, that's crazy. Mewtwo needs to be stopped.
It's actually really...
Are you saying Mewtwo is trying to make Kanto great again?
Yes, Mewtwo is Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Right. Donald Trump.
Ah, Mewtwo. What a dick bag. What is the second one's plot? Oh, did you get to see Pikachu's like picnic or whatever it is? Pikachu's vacation?
I had the option, but I decided not to watch that one yet.
That's the best part. That's
There
like a
is no
10-minute
talking-
short film.
No, it's like half an hour.
I know, but it's all Pokemon.
And there's no talking in it.
There's
I
no
know.
dialogue.
I'm going to get around to that, I think. But
One of these days.
yeah. Actually, I just finished watching Pokemon the movie 2000, which is
Okay.
the second movie.
Mm-hmm.
It is not as interesting.
I feel like I saw that one too, but the first one I was way into, and I think I even have a VHS copy of, because I have the Charizard card that I got at the theater box office for going to it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Foil Charizard.
Yeah. Apparently, Ash's Charizard is kind of a dick.
Why is that?
He doesn't always do what Ash says.
Oh, yeah.
kinda-
That's because Ash needs more badges.
It's kind of... Yeah, exactly. You can't control up to level, like, 40 Pokemon. Right?
Yeah. Ash, get the fuck on it, man.
But it's hilarious because, like, Mewtwo is just, like, come down and Ash is like, oh, God, Charizard, I choose you. And...
Is that what he
Charizard-
sounds like? No wonder he doesn't get listened to.
Yeah, exactly. But
Whiny
Charizard
bitch.
pops out, and, like, without even a command, Charizard just, like, sees how fucking Mewtwo is mugging him and, like, instantly like, fires a flamethrower at him.
That's right.
It's funny. It's just like, Ash is like, hey, I didn't say start yet.
He knows.
Charizard's
He knows
just
what's
like,
up.
this motherfucker's giving me, throwing some shade.
Give me the stank eye.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what happens. Like, Mewtwo gives him the stank eye, so he, like, flamethrowers him. But
Yeah, that's what I do.
it does not work that well because Mewtwo is a badass.
Yeah.
And Mew is, like, the cutest Pokemon ever.
Yes, adorable.
Ever.
Do you know how to get Mew in the original games?
You have to have... He's an event Pokemon.
It's
You have
like,
to,
not even. You can actually get it in the game too.
oh, really?
It's like a fucking nonsense set of events that you need to do. You need to like walk to this place and then activate the trainer and hit pause and then teleport away so that the trainer moves out of the way so you can get to this other area that you normally can't walk to because there's a trainer in the way. And then like you have to like pause and teleport back and then do it like twice or some nonsense. And then eventually Mewtwo, like you'll get into a battle and it'll be Mew. And you're like, all right, there it is. There's Mew. And you can catch him.
Oh, I thought you could catch Mewtwo, but like Mew was like the event Pokemon.
You can get Mew as well. I think it was an event Pokemon, but it has to be coded into the game. Because back then they didn't really have the ability to download a thing on you. It was just a code that would unlock. So basically, this weird teleporting dance that they have set up is like doing things that set the RAM in the background of the game to give you Mew, basically.
Oh, that's nuts.
And it took years and years and years for people to figure it out. But they did. So, yeah, it's kind of like random button presses to set it up. But yeah, and you can totally do that. And if you watch speedruns of Pokemon, that's how they do it. You can like manipulate the game in the background by like doing actions in certain ways and like turning certain directions. It's like the button inputs like will cause like you can make certain Pokemon appear where they shouldn't be, basically. Weird. To catch them. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I guess one of the other things they announced at the Pokemon Direct not long ago was that like for the red, blue, and yellow, you can now transfer those because since like the earlier games, you can actually transfer Pokemon from one game to like your newer game.
Yep.
Through whatever means they had for those. Like I think it was usually at first it was like link cables, and then it was like direct.
They always cut off
DS,
too,
and now for the internet
at the different like system levels as well. Like you could get your red and blue Pokemon and yellow Pokemon into Gold and Silver, but those two couldn't trade up to like Ruby Sapphire, which was in the Game Boy Advance.
Right.
But all of the Game Boy Advance ones could trade, and then when it went to DS, I think there's a way to get advanced ones to the DS.
That came later. Like at first they didn't do it, but then they kind of like backpatched it so you could.
Yeah. I don't know why that's possible because I don't think there's a cable that connects those two consoles.
No, it's they used to do for the Game Boy Advance. It was just direct connection between them, like wireless.
Oh, there's a Wi-Fi between those as well.
Yes. And they had now have that. They had that for like 3DS as well. So
yeah.
But now they're doing it for the red, blue, and yellow. They have it so on the Virtual Console you can pull those into your newer games.
That's pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
I like that. So they're doing some cool stuff with that and like keeping that old game alive in nice ways, which is great. All right, I'm gonna save this for next week, my other game, so we can move on to news.
Sure.
I think I talked about it a little bit, but I've been playing a lot more Diablo 3 with Lauren on PS4. Yeah. It's fucking great. That game is awesome on consoles. I can't say it enough for co-op.
On computer, like
PC co-op's really good, but for same screen, it's incredible. Like it works well.
The UI is great.
Yeah. And I watched. So I'll save this for next week. But I played a ton of Stardew Valley. Have you heard of this game, Adam?
It sounds familiar.
How can you get out? How can you be on the internet and not hear about the internet darling that is Stardew Valley? I'll talk about it more next week because I only just started it. And I think I'm only 4 hours in, but that is one day of playing, Adam.
Yeah,
I basically sat for 4 hours. Adam, you played Harvest Moon?
No,
you were not. Okay, did you ever like Harvest Moon games?
I've never played one.
Okay. Do you like Animal Crossing?
Never played it.
Do you like those two games? No. So that's Stardew Valley is basically like
Harvest Moon.
And it's got, and if you want to look
at
a
farming sim, right?
It is like a farming sim. And you move to this little town and you want to become like a farmer and you do farming stuff and you meet people and you have talks with people and like crazy, like there's crafting, there's exploration, there's combat, because there's actual combat because there's like a mine that you can go into deeper levels and there's creatures like slimes and stuff that you fight with a sword and you get like stuff that you can sell or you can find artifacts to, like in Animal Crossing you can find like an artifact or a fossil to take to the library and they'll put it on display for you, and it's just all this kind of crazy stuff. And then there's like crazy, there's a wizard. So, and then he unlocks some crazy, like, stuff, magic and things. It's just insane, Adam. It is Harvest Moon, but, you know what? I found this Kotaku article, and how can I explain it better than the Steam reviews? Let's see here. I gave everyone in town a fish as a present. I spent the rest of the day digging them out of their digging the fish presents out of their respective trash cans. The homeless guy kept his fish because he doesn't have a trash can. Then I realized I was competing with him in digging things out of the garbage. I think I'm bad at this game.
That's hilarious.
It's basically Animal Crossing and Harvest Moon combined with stunning graphics. Everything feels so vivid and fun. Yeah, this has like kind of 16-bit-esque graphics in it.
Yeah.
I guess the best way to describe it, it's kind of like an Earthbound mixed with Harvest Moon, like the Super Nintendo version.
Yeah.
So it looks gorgeous in 1080p. But it's like Animal Crossing and Harvest Moon combined with stunning graphics. Everything feels so vivid and fun. Also, there's combat. What more could you want? This game will ruin your life. 9 p.m. on a Saturday or Sunday. Just one more day. 10 p.m. on a Sunday. That day went pretty well. Well, what's one more? Well, I'm already awake, so I might as well finish the day. Repeat steps 1 through 3 until 3 a.m. in the morning. Hate self at 8 a.m. at work on Monday. Yeah, this is insane. It's just, I just want to say it's like the best made Harvest Moon game I've played. Cool. Which is saying something. Because it's like, it's just crazy. Because like Harvest Moon never really hit in the U.S. in a big way. It did a little bit. I think Harvest Moon 64 was pretty big. And the Super Nintendo game was pretty popular. But outside that, it wasn't huge. My brother and I, we put hundreds of hours into the PlayStation, Friends of Mineral Town. Which is like one of the highest, like, rated like by fans of the games is one of them. That's like everyone's favorite or up there. But it's crazy. It's just it's so good. Like there's no like rush to do stuff because you're literally just farming, but it's not like hard to do or like feels like a chore. Basically, they make it pretty simple. And it's more about just like this treadmill of upgrading. Like, I'm going to make these crops. I'm going to water them. And tomorrow there'll be one more day towards that. And then this field over here has got, beans growing in it. And I can put them in. And I'll have enough cash to go buy the upgrade to my pick. So that now I can go into the mine and go down another level to fight the other monsters in there to get more money. And it's just like this crazy one more day treadmill of like, I just got to keep going. And the thing I love about it, and the reviews will say this, is that it is like I've played 41 hours, or 40 hours, and I still feel like I haven't touched a second of this game. Like there's 100+ floors in the randomly generated mining dungeon. I mean, it is just insane. Here's one. I have 41 hours logged into this game. It came out 3 days ago. I mean, it is just. I remember I lost a lot of my yesterday playing it. I mean, I just didn't. I forgot what time it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You ever play games like that where you just are like,
totally.
You're like, I'm gonna play this. I started at like 1 o'clock, and then I look up and it's 6. I'm like, what just happened?
Minecraft is that way with me sometimes.
Yeah, Minecraft is crazy. It's still like that.
Yeah.
And we got to talk about Minecraft in the news.
Yep.
So much happened. Yeah, it's just... Yeah, so I guess the winter of year 1, this guy's played for about 30 hours, so it is just... This is probably one of the best Harvest Moon games I've ever played. And you know me, and I talked about Story of Seasons. It is just... This is better than that game, and that's the Harvest Moon people. You know what I mean? Like, this is just hit it. And I think part of it's the 2D graphics, because one of the things I don't like about Story of Seasons is that it's in 3D, but it doesn't look, the art's not super great. It's pretty cheap looking, whereas this is like great pixel art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the music is awesome. I just don't know what to say. I don't know. I think there's relationship building as well, so it's also kind of a relationship simulator as well.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Let's see here. I lost 50 kale plants to an earthquake. Got turned down at the dance by everybody. A scientist is growing mushrooms in a cave on my property. I'm often exhausted by 11 a.m. and turn in. Also wizards. 11 out of 10. It's just fun. It's just... I find myself playing it and not wanting to stop. It's just like, okay,
yeah.
I have to quit. So I'll talk more about it when I've played a bit more. I'm only just about through the first of the 4 seasons, so I'll have a lot more to say, I think, next week, and I'll play a bunch. Cool. I watched a bunch of movies. We're going to talk about these two. We'll go through these fast, though. So I went to the Best Picture Festival at Marcus, and I think we talked about this.
Yes, yeah.
So the first weekend was a bunch of movies. Brooklyn, Big Short, I don't know, a couple other movies that I didn't see, that I've already seen. Martian, which I'd already seen, and something else nominated for Best Picture that I don't remember. But this week was Room, Spotlight, Mad Max, and Revenant. And I already seen Revenant. I already seen Mad Max. Well, I think we talked about Mad Max already. Have you seen Revenant?
No.
Oh, it's so good. Woo.
I heard it was like almost like a torture porn movie with a bear and Leo, though.
Yeah. But I don't know if I'd say torture porn movie. There is that element to it, but it is much more of a survival wilderness movie. Like, kind of just...
I'm not really big on those either, though.
Yeah, but just Inarritu and his style and his cinematography lend well. Like, it is a gorgeous looking movie. I mean, it's kind of like, you know how Fargo, you watch that, you feel cold just because of the way it's shot?
Oh, because I haven't seen Fargo.
You've never seen Fargo.
We've said this like
the fuck
300
is
times.
Wrong with you?
You say that
that is one of the best movies ever made.
Once every 3 months.
We gotta watch it. We're watching it next time I visit.
Okay.
You'll absolutely love it. I mean, you like Coen Brothers, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, but I mean, this is pretty much consensus everyone's favorite movie of theirs. Either that or Big Lebowski. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know. I feel like we've had this exact conversation 4 times. And I just always forget because it's just assumed that you've seen that movie. But I mean, I don't know. I could just say it's basically Big Lebowski, but more focus on the crime drama part. It is still really funny because there's still hilarious things that happen in that movie. Okay. But it is more about the crime drama than Big Lebowski is. So we'll watch that. We have to because it's so good. All right. So my Best Picture Festival, Revenant is incredible. You should see it. It didn't win Best Picture. The movie that won Best Picture was The Surprise for me because I assumed it would be Revenant. Okay. Even though I liked another movie I saw, Room, much better. That was the best movie of the year by far. And not to dip into John's pad early, but let me see what my review of the day of Room was. Don't watch Room. That movie is gut-wrenchingly thriller. It is just the plot of Room is you just kind of... Have you heard anything about Room?
No.
Okay. Brie Larson, deservedly so, won Best Actress for a performance in that. And you know who Brie Larson is, correct?
Yeah.
She was Envy in the Scott Pilgrim movie and a bunch of other stuff. She's in a ton of TV. She's fucking amazing in this movie, and she won Best Actress. Totally deserved. And that was kind of my Oscar, made me so happy because Leo won, which he finally did, and he was really good in Revenant, so he deserved it. And Brie Larson was the one who deserved it, and she totally got recognized, so it was awesome. Room is this girl who's in her 24. I think she even says what her age is, and they're just she's in this room with this 4-year-old boy, right? 5-year-old. He's 4 turning 5. He turns 5 in the first few minutes of the movie. Shut up, Lauren. They got the peanut gallery yelling at me.
Also, the other movie the first weekend was Bridge of Spies.
I know. I was going to get to that. Shut up. I also watched that too. But anyway, so yeah, I don't really want to say much more about Room because I feel like what was so incredible about that was not knowing what was going to happen because it is a thriller. You know what I mean? Okay. Because they're in this room. Why are they in this room? Why is this 5-year-old here who's her son, clearly? They're trapped in a room. And someone visits to drop them off supplies that could stay alive, basically. What's going on? And you kind of get the story a little bit, because the book apparently that's based on is written from the kid's perspective. Mm-hmm. But you kind of get the idea of where you come in knowing nothing, and they don't give anything away, and you kind of get the information the same time that the 5-year-old kid does, which is kind of what makes it so incredible, the way the movie's put together. It was my best picture, 100%. That movie was incredible. And there's just a scene in that movie that was probably the most edge of my seat I've ever been in any movie I've ever seen. where it's just like, not to spoil anything, but you can get this from the trailers, but there is an escape from the room, and it is tense as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like I could barely breathe. Like it physically hurt me to watch. And it's really rare for movies to do that, I think.
Yeah.
But I also saw Bridge of Spies. I rented that one because I was alone, and I knew Lauren wouldn't want to watch it, so.
Yeah.
It's a Spielberg movie. It's written by the Coen brothers, co-written, so the script's kind of snappy. It's got some fun dialogue. That's about it. I don't know. It was a good movie. Nothing really remarkable. Good story.
Okay.
Kind of a spy movie. Russian Cold War spy movie. Not a lot of spy stuff, though. I don't know. It's more a lawyer
like
trying
Tinker
to...
Tailor.
Not really. A little bit. Maybe 10% Tinker.
Okay.
5% Tailor. 0% Soldier. 5% Spy.
All right.
Not much. I mean, it's a grand total of maybe 25%. Yeah. So I also saw Spotlight, which won Best Picture. And that's about, do you know what Spotlight's about at all?
No.
You'd really like this movie as well. It is about Boston in 2001 and uncovering the nationwide and actually worldwide cover-up over the priests molesting young children.
Oh, yeah.
And that was Spotlight is about the Spotlight team at the Boston Globe that basically uncovered everything. And so it's very much like a
Newsroom type.
newsroom, exactly, like an uncovering this like just huge conspiracy that's just been going on behind everyone's like, you know, because there's just Catholic churches everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In Boston, there's just like this is like they have judges who are Catholic, and it's like, you know, we got to fight this to get these documents unsealed, and you know, it's just like, and the Catholic Church people are like, hey, back off, you know, and like they settle all these cases out of court and seal all the testimony. It's like basically just like these lawyers making an industry out of like connecting these people who were molested with the church to get a settlement, you know, 20 grand and shut up, sign a gag order. And it's just, and they uncover the whole thing, and it's really well done for a movie of that type, where it's just like this investigation, and it kind of, you know, bubbles up to the climax, and it's interesting. And then 9/11 happens, of course, and they have to, you know, stop for a while, and everything kind of gets messed up. And then I think in January that the article came out, and kind of blew the lid off a lot of things, and it just, yeah, you know. They found 90 priests, I think, or something like that in Boston alone.
Damn.
Yeah, it was just crazy. Like just shuffle people around and then go to like a house to be rehabilitated, and it didn't really do anything. And then they would get just shuffled to somewhere else, and it would happen again. And it was just kind of condoned. You know, it makes you lose faith in humanity a little bit, but
Yeah.
you have to remember also that humanity also brought the people along that had to get that story like put out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see the people fighting, you know, with their entire like heart and life to get this story out. Like we have to let people know, or else, you know. Yeah. So yeah, it was a really good movie too. I just thought Room was just, it's more of Room is more of like a character acting movie.
Yeah.
You know, because there's really only like maybe 5 or 6 actors in the movie. You know, and whereas Spotlight is much more about like more about the plot and the twists and turns. So, but that was really good. I would recommend it. All the movies I've seen, you know, really good year for Best Picture and movies in general. Like just a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh. Whew. What time is it?
Oh, wow. We're actually...
We're good. We got plenty of time.
Yeah,
John-
we got like 20 minutes.
Yes. Adam,
Yeah.
you know what time it is?
It's John's pad time.
Did you hear the theme music?
Yeah, no.
Listen to it.
Okay.
It was at 1:14-ish
Okay.
of the last episode. And it'll be at 1:06 of this episode-ish. Of course, I have intros and stuff that will change that. But cue the music.
All right.
John's Pale. Yeah, heard it.
Oh, wow, that was great.
Thank you. 25 February 2016. That's how I write dates, because that's how I have to do it at work. Because there's no way. Yep. 25 Feb 2016. Because there's no way to misinterpret that date.
Yeah.
Because you have the month is listed in words, so you can't have like 12/12 or like 11/10. You're like, what's that? So yeah. Adam.
Yes.
Brown rice can go fuck itself.
Can it?
Not healthier, just taste worst. I hate it.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it for the pad, Adam.
All right.
I would like to mention Lauren's addition to the pad.
Okay.
She made a joke. Okay, stupid. That's a dating site for dipshits.
Oh. All right.
Yep.
No, that's a great idea.
Well, that's John's pad.
All right.
No, Adam, brown rice. What are your thoughts?
Brown rice. I don't have a lot of thoughts on rice in general.
So you go to Chipotle.
Or at least different types of rice. I always get the white rice.
You always get the white rice. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. So, Adam.
Yes.
I think brown rice is one of those things. One of those things that an African American might call bougie. You like that term? Bougie?
If I knew what it meant, I might.
So it's like bourgeois,
Okay, sure.
So something that's bougie. It's like something that rich people are like, ooh, this is fancy. I have to have it because
sure.
Yeah, it's kind of. I'm pretty sure it's like an African American term. So I don't want to co-opt it, but I love that word bougie. So that's so. I just wanted to mention what it was. It's great. It's a great term. So anyway, it's this. So I feel like brown rice just got in because people are like, oh, it's like wheat, wheat bread, whole wheat bread is better. So obviously brown rice has to be better because it's like whole wheat rice, sort of, except for not really. Brown rice and white rice are very similar and almost nearly identical in every nutrient category, other than brown rice has a little bit more fiber in it, and like a little bit more protein in it. But we're talking about like minuscule amounts more.
You're saying it's better?
No, actually. So actually, there's been a lot of studies done that show that like the amount of extra nutrients in brown rice is so small that it doesn't make any nutritional benefit. The only difference for brown rice, and this is what doctors have said, is that, and this is what you would recommend it, and it's exactly like gluten-free. And so like doctors recommend gluten-free to people who are celiacs. And not recommend it because they're like, hey, no, you have to be gluten-free or else you'll be sick.
Right.
And so everyone's like, oh, if that makes them sick, I can't eat it because it'll make me sick too. And so brown rice is the alternative for someone who is diabetic because it is very carby and white rice can be transferred into sugar in your body very quickly.
Okay. So it's like
whereas brown rice takes a lot longer to break down in your body. So, there's no blood sugar spike, basically. Okay. And so doctors are basically if you don't have diabetes or problems with blood sugar, it will make no difference in your life. You know what I mean? Because the only thing is... What? I'm sorry?
You might not, get super tired after eating a bunch of it.
The rice isn't what does that. It's the ridiculous amount of protein and goop that does that to you that makes you tired. But
when you get a sugar spike... from the...
Okay, but you don't get a sugar spike if you're not diabetic.
It would be
level. It's the exact same thing with...
You still get a spike.
Yes, but your body is able... No, your kidneys can handle it, where someone who is diabetic can't. Adam, I'm telling you what the science is of this.
I know. I'm not saying it's bad for you. I'm just saying it might make you tired.
But here... Okay, might make you tired more. Okay, so you know what? If you're willing to eat the fucking dry... chewy rice for possibly not getting tired.
You don't want to get the itis.
Yeah. Feel free. I don't think it causes itis. I'm pretty sure what causes itis is the ridiculously fatty food and bacon grease, collard greens, and whatnot that comes from that cooking. But anyway, brown rice isn't any healthier, and it should be banned.
It should be banned.
It should be banned. I hate it because I wrote this because I accidentally got brown rice instead of white rice.
Yeah.
And my food tasted worse, and I was so mad. I was like, my food tastes worse for no reason. It's like a thing people do because they think it's healthy, and it's not. and it's making your life worse. It's like drinking skim milk instead of 2% milk.
Yeah.
There really isn't a huge difference, especially because if you...
I go 2%.
Exactly. If you're drinking skim, fine. If you're drinking like 4 glasses of milk a day, the calorie difference will add up at that point. But if you're like me and maybe have a little bit with cereal every day, or like a glass, like the extra 30 calories, like the taste difference is not worth it. Like it just tastes so much better. And like it's better for cooking anyway, because there's fat in it. Whereas the skim is harder to cook with because there's no fat at all.
Gotta go whole milk or go home.
No, whole milk tastes like drinking ice cream. I prefer 2%. I mean, if you want to go whole milk, feel free. I'm not going to stop you because
Actually,
Adam,
whole milk's expensive, man.
it is. It is more expensive the more fat is in it. Actually,
Yeah.
But 2% is a good. I think a happy medium where it doesn't taste quite as rich, but it's still like tasty. Anyway, that's John's pad for the week.
Okay.
You can look forward to next week's pad servations.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Let's move on to the news. You mentioned it earlier, so let's do it right away.
Minecraft.
You mentioned this earlier, so let's do it right away. Ghostbusters 3!
That too.
I mentioned the Minecraft update. Ghostbusters 3, Adam Ham, you saw the trailer.
Yeah.
I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
The whole gall dang world saw the trailer
It did.
as they came out today. What are your trailer thoughts? Quote unquote TM trademark.
It is kind of weird that I actually kind of wanted to see this movie more before I saw the trailer.
Same here. I'm going to be completely honest. The trailer did not hit well.
Yeah, I think I still want to see it for sure. I want to see it in the movie theater, and I think it looks good still. I just think it doesn't look like... It doesn't have the same feel as a Ghostbusters movie. I think it'll be a good, funny summer action comedy. I don't think it's going to be like a great Ghostbusters movie.
Honestly, it's so hard to tell from the trailer.
It is, yeah.
The trailer did not hit what I just thought the trailer come out and be like, yes. And I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's real now. I'm just going through the quarter to 3 thread about this. This is quite interesting. People are like...
There's been a lot of hate on this just because of...
There's been both. There's been like a lot of hate, and I think a lot of people trying to overcompensate with the hate, saying that it's the best thing they've ever seen. Well, and it's like, that's a bit far.
No, I mean, even before like the trailer and stuff like that, I was excited because I like all these people who are in it, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, there seemed to be a lot of people who were just like, I don't know, unhappy just because it was a team of Ghostbuster chicks or something. And I don't know. I didn't understand that hate, but
well, it's true. It can only ever be 70% of a Ghostbusters movie, of course.
Yeah.
The movie actually, they're only going to charge you 70 cents on the dollar to see it, so
oh right, yeah,
it's got to be worth it, you know, because it's only women, so
right,
you know, you shouldn't have to pay full price, obviously.
No,
but I mean, I don't know. I like all the people in it, so I was just like, this is great. But then I saw the trailer and I was like, and I, you know, it could be the case of trailers being trailers. You know what I mean?
Right.
And picking kind of some of the worst moments to showcase.
Like, what kind of scared me is that I don't like the way like all the ghosts are actually like portrayed.
Oh, I loved it actually.
Really?
Oh, it looked neat. It looked really cool. It looked too garish, I guess is the word I want to use. They're too scary looking?
No, not too scary. They look too like colorful and vibrant and pretty. They look like haunted mansion. I heard somebody say like that.
Are you saying like
that? Like
they have the look of like the county fair haunted house, like neon, like glow in the dark.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of get that. I don't know. I don't really care about that much. I mean, if that's the artistic choice they make.
I'm also used to Ghostbuster movies having like really shitty special effects too, so it's weird for me to see that. Like, oh my god, those fucking dogs from the first one. Like, some of the puppetry they had in that for those things was glorious.
I
But
I guess
I understand. I understand why they're not doing that.
It's so hard to tell though, and that's what I hate when people react so strongly to trailers. Is like, this is just a trailer. The first trailer. Like,
I thought some stuff was really awesome, like the proton pistols.
Oh my god, there's some cool looking. Like, I like the trap. There's like a bear trap for ghosts that look kind of neat, you know. I don't know. We'll see. So let's go through the synopsis that came out. Aaron Gilbert, Kristen Wiig, and Abby Yates, Melissa McCarthy, are a pair of unheralded authors who write a book positing that ghosts are real. A few years later, Gilbert lands a prestigious teaching job at Columbia University as a physics professor, but her book resurfaces and she's laughed out of academia. It's kind of similar to the original. You know what I mean? We're talking about professors in a university that basically are crazy. Although the original one is more like they're using experiments to hit on women and
at least Bankman
burning up their money. When ghosts invade Manhattan, Gilbert reunites with Yates, teaming up with a nuclear engineer, Gillian Holtzman, Kate McKinnon, who looks incredible in this movie, and a subway worker, Patty Tolan, to save the world from mysterious evil and powerful demon known as Rowan, played by Neil Casey. I don't know who that is. So the trailer's pretty good.
I thought a lot of it. I thought it seemed pretty funny. Like
I guess I was so pre-hyped that it was just like, oh yeah, it looks all right.
yeah.
And to be fair, this is a reboot. This is a world in which Ghostbusters has never happened before.
That's the thing that actually kind of bugged me because. It looked like almost from the beginning, especially the way the trailer started. Like
exactly, the trailer's like 30 years ago.
Yeah,
and it's like no. And this is a complete reboot. Which
they show the same firehouse.
It makes me think that this trailer was made by people that want to sell the movie and not by the people that made the movie, because the people that made the movie have literally been on like articles saying no, this is a reboot. There's no original lore coming into this. This is where it feels like a sequel, like Ghostbusters 3, or at least they're trying to push it as such. Interesting. An argument that came up in this thread that I was reading was someone said casting the black woman as the one who explicitly doesn't know much about scientists but has street smarts.
I mean, wow. I don't know. I saw that kind of as a thing from the other movie too. Like, she's the Winston.
Fair enough.
I mean, but granted, maybe Winston's role or in the original wasn't, the best.
But
racial profiling. But
it's interesting. The thing I have to say about that is talk to Leslie Jones.
Yeah.
That is her style of humor.
Yeah.
It would be like casting Chris Rock in a movie, to be Chris Rock and make fun of black people and their culture and do his Chris Rock jokes, bigger, louder, blacker, and be like, oh, why does he have to talk about being black? And it's like, it's just the kind of way his comedy is, and it's kind of the way her comedy is, where she's loudmouthed, she kind of talks about like, I don't know, like if you watch SNL with her on it, like a lot of her like sketches and stuff kind of are like, this is how like white people movies are, and this is, what I mean? It's just, and it's really funny, and she's really good at it. So I feel like it's like, okay, I understand where you're coming from, and maybe that's the case in this, but I would talk to the actress first, about it and see if she's like happy because it's like maybe they wrote this character for her because that feels a lot like her stand up to me, and her comedy style to me. I mean, there was a hilarious sketch from SNL, I think last year, where they did like one of those like real ghost hunter like things, and she just played the black lady from like the street who's just like flipping out over everything, where everyone else is trying to be like super, and it was hilarious. And I was like, I think that's what they're trying to go for with this, and that's obviously she had a hand in writing that sketch, so it was like, I think that's what she's doing. I don't know. But I don't want to judge, you know what I mean? Again.
Yeah.
So that's why I would be hesitant to judge that. I think that I'm assuming that the character is that way because that's the way she is and wants to be. And that's her comedy style, but whatever. We'll see. I don't know. It looks all right. We'll see. All right. We got to go. Before we get to games, let's talk about the non-game stuff.
Okay.
Gambit film.
Yes.
Finally got pulled from that release schedule.
Yeah.
It was on Fox's release schedule, and they haven't even filmed anything yet. And so finally they were like, oh yeah, that's not coming out this year. But it doesn't sound like it's like done. You know what I mean? It's just like it's not scheduled for coming out in October 2016.
Yeah.
So they actually added 2 untitled ones for October 6th and January 12th, 2017, 2018 respectively. But it sounds like it's being built. It's like they're doing pre-production right now, so maybe one of those 2 unannounced slots are where it's going to be. But clearly it's just it was just funny to me that this hadn't happened earlier, because we're getting close to like 8 months away and haven't even filmed it. It's still scheduled to come out. You could see it on lists of movies coming out this year. I don't know. I hope that's good.
Me too.
I never really was into Gambit.
I like Gambit a lot. He's cool.
He just throws cards.
And then he charges any object up and like it explodes. How's that not cool? You can throw a sandwich. Say, hey, Gambit, sandwich me.
Do you call that a gyro? A gyro? I call it a gyro.
I call it a gyro.
A gyro. Oh my god. If you have not watched those, look up Pete Holmes' X-Men. EX-Men. And the Gambit one is incredible. It's my favorite.
It's a really good one, yeah.
Starring the guy from Silicon Valley. The main guy, and I can't remember his name. It's killing me.
Yeah, you can throw a gyro, but meat's floppy's hard to do. You're totally messing with me, aren't you?
I gotta find the actor's name because it's gonna fucking kill me.
He has a good night.
Thomas Middleditch. Middleditch. He is awesome. Adam, have you seen Silicon Valley?
I have not.
We should watch that. We'll have to watch that as well. It's so good. Mike Judge, that guy, Thomas Middleditch, a bunch of other great people. It's just kind of about. It's like a hilarious send up of the just San Francisco, like, you know what I mean,
startup type thing,
startup type culture and people and self-driving cars, and it's real fun. Like, and it's very much Mike Judge-y, Office Space-y type, poking fun at the business world and the absurdity of it all. Okay, PlayStation View. I know you're not interested. No one's interested, but listeners may be interested. They cut the price by about $5, I think, for every tier. So now the basic cable, like 60 channels tier, your standard expanded basic, $40 a month, and now it does include the fucking ESPN ABC channels. Because before it didn't have ABC or Disney or ESPN. It's like that's kind of like a huge, like the biggest package of cable. Like one of the more expensive parts of your cable is that ESPN, ABC, Disney like chunk. But now that's in there. So I love it. So they added those and lowered the price.
Nice.
Which makes it pretty good. But I'm paying probably about $45 a month for mine right now with a DVR.
Yeah.
And it still sounds like the view just doesn't work in the way that I want it to with the DVR. Because it doesn't really DVR stuff. It just, you can just go to previous, like, you can tell, like, it shows you want to have. And then it will just, you can just on demand play them. It saves, like, a bunch of them. Like, I don't know. It's weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I'm just going to, like, get out of the whole cable thing completely anyway.
Yeah.
Just, like, because I think now with HBO Now, that works with Chromecast, so, like, I probably just gonna get rid of cable and HBO through that and just get HBO Now.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 15, so.
Yeah. And, I'm still paying like $90 for my internet. It's terrible.
Just 90?
Yeah.
Just for the internet?
Yeah.
Wow. What's your cable bill?
Like 120.
Mine's 100 even.
Yeah.
And that's with internet, the 60 meg internet and cable with DVR.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I have to pay like 90 for the 60 meg internet. Otherwise, it's like the standard.
And you don't even have real cable.
45. I do.
But you have like the super basic cable.
I have super basic.
Yeah, like I have 70 channels, which fucking Charter, and I've said this before on this podcast, it does not include it's just Charter's basic package does not include Cartoon Network, which blows my goddamn mind.
That is nuts.
It blows my goddamn mind. I could pay $10 more a month to get the tier that includes it. I just won't. And I should. And I probably will when Rick and Morty comes out so I can watch those episodes because, I figure how much of those episodes cost a piece. You know what I mean? Probably like $3 a piece for the HD versions on Amazon.
Yeah.
So, how many episodes come out in a month? 3 or 4? That's close to $10 right there. Might as well just subscribe and DVR them. Because I love DVRing shows. Because I feel like the on-demand quality is worse. And we've talked about this a ton. I don't want to get into it. But like the way the on-demand works on my cable, and I think a lot of cable is like you can't pause. Like you can't pause shows when you're watching them on demand sometimes.
That seems really weird. I've totally been able to pause shows.
Yeah. Well, I can understand because they don't want you to fast forward through the mid-roll ads and stuff they put in there. But like I have to use the bathroom. Can you please pause this? And it won't let you pause. The USA shows won't let you do that. You just have to sit and watch them. Yeah, I was watching Mr. Robot, and it's like, can't pause. Good luck. Like, you're going to miss this scene while you're in the bathroom. So let's talk about... Oh, and then the other thing is, did you see the YouTube thing?
No, I see
my post
here, but...
How does that... I want your first response to that. Your first reaction.
I don't know. My first reaction is I can't think of any YouTuber that I would think I would ever...
Well, you got PewDiePie.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think anything... I'm not even bad-mouthing PewDiePie. I'm just saying I don't think anybody does any kind of...
I know he's popular.
Work worthy of an Emmy
on
YouTube at this point.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I do think that's a good step. I think that's a good thing because that's where that shit's going to be headed.
Yeah, that's true. I just want to say this. Like, I'm going to go on the record. PewDiePie is fucking garbage. That stuff is awful.
Yeah.
It's like someone shitting into my eyes and ears at the same time.
Uh-huh.
Like, I know it's popular, but you know who else is popular? The current Republican frontrunner.
Yeah. Well,
and it doesn't mean he's not a complete garbage person or the stuff he spits out is not complete trash. Of course, a lot of people like it. I don't.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's just, I don't know, it's just a taste thing to me. Like,
yeah, fair enough. But I'm saying for my tastes, it's like being pooped on.
I wouldn't put it that badly, but I've
never even seen a full video. Like I couldn't. I couldn't. It was too insufferable. It was like all of the things I hate about YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the idea is that part of the ongoing changes to the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, so they're expanding categories and creating new ones to allow more opportunities for online creators to have their short series awarded by peers. That's true. Should be, right? Good stuff should be rewarded.
Totally.
So they're introducing short form categories that will examine and include content from YouTube Red, Crackle, Adult Swim, and more. Because I guess Adult Swim is doing a lot of online content, like their Too Many Cooks and stuff, which is YouTube and stuff, big time. So it's like stuff that just isn't traditionally on TV should be available. And there's a lot of other online series. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's Funny or Die stuff. We're talking about. That stuff should be rewarded if it's good comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't think any of that stuff has really made it Emmy worthy yet. But yeah, I totally think that should be in the running for sure.
Yeah. So to be eligible to compete, the original series must have aired a minimum of 6 episodes, with each episode being 15 minutes or less in length. So we're literally talking YouTube series. Like, we're talking Yogg's Cast, fucking, like, YouTube series. We're talking those 15-minute episode shows they do are, like, you can get nominated. And to be fair, in a lot of their series, there's a lot of technical... I know we watched one of their series, which is actually one of their better ones, the going to space one. I forget the
Yes.
name. Moon Quest. Yeah. But there were a couple episodes they did where like, here's the background, like the behind the scenes, where it's like, all right, now we're gonna go build all this weird infrastructure that's behind the scenes of this level, and that stuff's really neat. It's like obviously a lot of work goes into crafting something there, and the really good stuff definitely should be awarded, and we'll see. But yeah, I think I'm sure a ton of craft goes into PewDiePie stuff as well, you know. So just not craft that I appreciate, you know.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I can understand that that's a really incredible wooden doll you've carved, but boy, does it do nothing for me.
But why did you make the control face? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
God, I want to see Zootopia. That's all I'm saying.
I do too.
The reviews are like 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, people are like, this is an instant classic about prejudice, basically.
Yeah.
In
I
Disney
saw an
way.
article on I don't know if it was like Gizmodo or something like that.
Yep.
But like they were talking about how people are saying that Disney is like advertising to furries to get sales for Zootopia.
Yeah, I don't get that because they're not. I don't think these characters are. They're furry-esque, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, Disney's done that shit before anyway. You know what I mean? I don't know. They're
Have
probably
they?
more anthropomorphized than in the past, right?
Oh,
I mean, they're wearing
I don't
clothes and shit.
No, but I mean, like they were actually like.
Oh,
I guess like they had people like sending trailers to like furry meetup groups or something like that. Or like they were like yeah, saying, "Hey, spread the word like through social."
why do you
media
need to
and stuff
spread
like
the word? Because I bet you those people are on top of this shit if it's already in their wheelhouse.
I guess
Like-
if that's like your fetish. Probably
You're way into
got
it
the-
already.
yeah.
You already know.
Uh-huh.
But it actually seems really cool because I guess the central plot is, you know, there's this detective bunny, right, who wants to
Yes.
be more of a cop, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're a rabbit. You know, you can't do that." You know what I mean? It's just kind
Yeah.
of like that. And she goes to her family and they're like, "Oh, we're rabbits. We don't do that kind of thing," you know? And it's kind of about like like almost to a point where it's like this is prejudice and like what women and minorities have to deal with, you know. And this is kind of, I don't know. It seems like they do a really good job of hitting this hard issue with in a fun. You know what I mean? Like it's just Disney does right. Basically.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I think that's
And I guess there's a lot of fun dialogue about like how disappointing adulthood and life is as an adult, you know, but
Yeah.
to the tune of, you know, the DMV being full of sloths,
Oh,
and, you know,
yeah.
just all
I
sorts
mean-
of funny gags.
I like Jason Bateman too, and it seems like
Yeah.
a pretty good role for him. Like
Yeah.
kind of wisecracking type.
Wisecrack and Fox
Yeah.
sidekick.
Yeah.
All right, Adam. We had a couple key video game stories
Yeah.
before we finish.
I.
All right. All right. Let's go about the one that's most interesting. It just came out today. I'm glad we waited a day yet again. No Man's Sky. Up
Yep.
for pre-sale
Yep.
today.
Yep.
Blu-ray release on the PS4. This is a full retail release. Pre-orders available on Steam as well. Adam, how much is this game going to cost?
I have no idea.
Guess, without looking.
Oh,
It's coming out on disc.
probably $60 then.
$60.
Yeah.
And the internet wept.
Why?
I don't know, because people are. Just people like to be. People don't like paying for games anymore. Have you figured this out yet?
guess.
You know, people are like,
I mean, it seems like they've got a lot that they're wanting to offer with that. I don't see why $60 seems like a lot.
yes,
It's a normal game price
Yes.
for a normal game.
so for me,
Yeah.
$60 is like I kind of was expecting it to be about like I don't know what I was expecting the price to be honest, because you know when you get that. This is a small team, like 4 people or whatever.
Yeah.
You're just assuming it's going to be, this is a $20, $30 game. You know what I mean?
Indie, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. I always kind of thought, like, from the scope that they're having with all this crazy, like, the way they're making all this random generation, but, like, still, you know, all these rules that it has to follow. It always seemed to me like it was an operation that was going to be big enough to charge $60 for. I don't know.
This is kind of interesting, but they've actually had a lot more. I guess they've gotten this game in the hands of a lot of video game reviewers and stuff. They've done a lot of previews, a new set of previews, basically.
Yeah.
And there's pretty interesting. I guess Martin Robinson from Eurogamer had some cool things to say. I guess it's there's a magic to No Man's Sky, one reminiscent of other mystical spacefaring adventures such as Star Raiders or Noctis. Kinds of games you'd glimpse into a few stolen hours around at a friend's house and then dream about for months afterwards. It's a slow game, and if you're playing it aggressively, it seems it could be clunky or frustrating. It's not for everyone. The systems, as abundant as they may run dry for some players in a mere handful of hours. What's left at that point? Nothing but the beauty of it all, and the fantasy of getting in your ship and heading to the skies, pointing it somewhere, anywhere you care to go. It's probably not going to satisfy all those drawn in by its spectacular premise. And by that reveal, it's too weird, too different ever really to do so. But what it does, though, is deliver on the promise of that initial trailer. It's a proper sci-fi game, at times strange, lonely, and cold, yet full of heart-lifting spectacle. And that, for me, is more than enough. Like, people are saying basically like that, like, point at the star in the sky, and you can go there. Yeah, and it's a planet full of weird shit. Like it is, like if you saw that trailer and were like, this procedural exploration space game, that's basically what Spore's trailer was. Right. People are like, that's what this game is. They did it. Like, and that is exciting to me because holy crap. And people were saying like the systems are really good. Like the gameplay seems to be pretty cool. Like the first person stuff. There's interiors, there's buildings and stuff. This is a real thing. Like, it's big. Mm-hmm. No multiplayer. At least no co-op.
Yeah.
It's because it is the way that it's served is weird. But we'll get into it more when it comes out. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the internet was in a bit of a hubbub about it because I think people were like, it's a lot. But from what they've been saying, the scope of it seems like a full retail release. I mean, of course I'm going to play it. That's no question. That's probably the game I'm most excited for about this year. So I'm glad to see. The release is June 21st. Huh. So right after E3.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to playing that this summer.
Cool.
Okay. Not much left. Uncharted 4 release got pushed back 2 weeks again.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
That's just... okay. The game is very close to being out. Like, we're a couple months away, and it just got pushed again. So
I don't know.
They're getting closer and closer to E3 when they're pushing this back. So
anytime a AAA game gets pushed back, I am unsurprised.
That's true. I mean, I'm surprised they ever come out at all.
Yeah, I know, right?
Knowing what goes into them.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to our final story about Minecraft, I want to talk about a little bit about the rumor and speculation that is Battlefield 5 is going to be a World War I game. A Swiss retailer put on like Battlefield 5 pre-order, and then the text said something about World War I shooter. Which is crazy. And that's all we have to go off of. Like, so there's nothing confirming this in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh, please do something like that. Please move away from Modern Warfare stuff. Because that's all there is now. Oh my god. It sounds amazing to me.
I guess.
Adam.
I don't know. I don't
Blimps.
know, man.
Biplanes.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're talking little tiny tanks and like the armored cars with the mounted guns and
so yeah, those things will be gone in the first 3 seconds of a match.
Well, that's how Battlefield works, Adam. I don't know what you're complaining about there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I'm going to play any more Battlefield games for a while.
Okay, fine, but like, whatever. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Battlefield's great. I'm just saying that I am so excited for Battlefield to change up the formula a bit. Because since 2, it's been the same game. I mean, there's Battlefield 2. There's 2142, which did change things up and go in the future. But then, 3 and 4 are kind of the same thing. Just a modern shooter or close future shooter. And it's like, I don't know. I've been missing World War II shooters. Like, I could go for a... Because there's something about the simplicity of the weaponry back then
Yeah.
Makes at least the ground combat a little bit more fun. You're not worried about getting sniped from 8 miles away by a fucking guy with a drone cannon, you know, or like a helicopter firing rockets at you from like a mile away. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just changes up the combat to be a lot more close quarters. But World War II still have, you know, a lot of the long range stuff. And Battlefield 1942 was the first game. I mean, the heart, it was a World War II game to begin with. But World War I seems crazy. But, you know.
Trench warfare seems like it'd be really weird or hard to do.
It doesn't seem like World War I was very... because people actually talk about this, historians do, about how World War II was like the heroic war. Because of the way that infantry and ground combat worked, it led to heroic acts being necessary, you know, for war to exist back then. Because in World War I, it was just like, just throw 20 guys at this, and 10 of them will get shot, and the other 10 will get to the bunker and knife people, basically. And it was just a game of inches. Whereas World War II would be like, you know, parachute these guys in, and this small team will like take out a thing. It was a war of you know, technology battling each other, you know, new bits of warfare fighting each other, and it was exciting because it was close up still, but we had all these technological advancements,
radar development.
Yeah, it was just making war into more of a exciting heroic thing and less of a battle slog. Still terrifying and awful, you know, war is terrible, but it could be more romantic, I guess, in a way, because it would be more, you know, dogfighting in the sky. And
what does that say about like a World War I game then? Would that be slower paced and harder?
Oh, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking it would be more World War II-esque, you know, a little bit less realistic in that way. No man's land in the middle of your battlefield.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Or they could do that and just have like NPC machine guns going over your head as you jump go over the top, you know, into the next trench. I don't know. I'm excited for shake-up, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
I can understand that.
Whatever that may be. And flying a biplane and dropping bombs seems real fun, actually.
Yeah.
In a Battlefield game.
Yeah, that's true.
And dropping mustard gas. Oh boy, I don't know.
All right.
We get into some
chemical warfare.
Yeah. Oh, I got a kill streak reward. Mustard gas.
Oh.
Drop it.
Yeah.
Mustard gas was terrible.
Yes.
Not only was it terrible as it was, you know, a horrible chemical weapon, but it also was awful because it would backfire so much. Because I guess the gas was heavier than air, so it could sink into trenches and get pushed back and just sit on the ground. Yeah. So if the wind would change, it would come right back at you. It wouldn't disperse. You know, because it was denser, so it would just kind of like a cloud kill, basically. Like it could get redirected back, and a lot of people would die that way too. Oh my God, we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah,
we got one last thing to talk about. Minecraft Vanilla 1.9 update.
Yep,
there's some big shit in this update.
There's a lot of stuff.
It kind of makes me want to play vanilla Minecraft a bit.
Yeah, not me.
To be fair, though, like vanilla Minecraft's really only fun if you're playing it with someone else. You know what I mean? Because like the way that vanilla Minecraft is that it's so based on the combat, basically, and getting through the Nether and getting the stuff to spawn the Wither, to get the stuff to go to the end. You know what I mean? Like all that, like, and that's all fighting monsters, basically. And that's not what I like about the game. But if you're playing it with like a group of 3 or 4 friends, that could be more fun. Like, you know, like more much like an RPG. Like, okay, you go in there and I'll stay back here shooting a bow. You know, like that adds a little bit more to it. But so this has got shields. Yeah. Attacking cooldown. So basically, it's like a stamina meter for attacking. So you have to time your attacks, like, you know, 1 slash every second, or else they'll do less damage. There's dual wielding. So you can hold the shield and sword now, which is kind of awesome.
That's cool.
There's like a sweep attack that you can do. Maybe a hold clicking does a side swipe. Axes do extra damage that can crush through armor. Cool. They basically added a lot of combat. The end has a lot more stuff in it. So after you defeat the Ender Dragon, you can now basically say, I want to end the game. As a game over, I win. or be like, okay, now create the end again, but as an infinite like plane, like the Nether or the Earth.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
So then there's like end buildings with new enemies. A mob called the Shulker, which like shoots homing missiles at you. Actually, that look really fun. You run around, they follow you, and then they explode after a time. There's like blocks that those are made of. There's plants that you can like smelt into like blocks to make like purpur blocks. They're called. They're just like a new building block type. End rods, which are like torches basically, but you can stand on them. So you can actually like put a bunch of them on a wall and then jump up on them. There's beets now from Pocket Edition. There are beets in that. You can resummon the Ender Dragon. There's igloos that can show up in the ice diomes. You can add tipped arrows. You can poison tip arrows
That's cool.
and stuff. There's spectral arrows. There's a Frostwalker enchantment and frosted ice blocks. So you can put a Frostwalker enchantment on your boots and it freezes the water underneath you.
Oh,
So you can run across oceans really easily.
nice.
Yep. And the frosted ice blocks actually melt after like 20 seconds. So they basically just make a trail of ice that you can walk across. A lot of new sound effects. Skeleton riders, like skeletons riding other things, I guess, than spiders. So,
Yeah.
and a bunch of other issues. And they said they removed Herobrine, but I don't believe them.
Yeah.
He'll still fuck your shit up while you're gone. I know it. But that seems really
never
cool.
really gone.
I'm actually really excited about the shield and swords, and that coming into the modded Minecraft.
I'm surprised it took that long to get that. Actually.
Yeah, because it seems like the combat in Minecraft was interesting but never good.
Yeah.
And at least adding a shield and sword makes at least fighting skeletons who just basically shoot you from range while you run up to them a little bit more, just like, keep my shield up. All right, run up, put the shield up, run up, like a little bit more Zelda-esque in the way the combat works. So
I still think it's kind of weird that there's not really like vanilla magic. That's so weird to me.
yeah, it'll get added in though, eventually,
I imagine they have potions and stuff that kind of do some of that, but yeah. I don't know.
I feel like I need to get back into some modded Minecraft and
Oh man, I don't know.
and start a new mod, try a new mod.
I don't know.
I did the blood magic mod when we had our server going, and that was fucking awesome. You basically have to kill things with your blood sword to like feed a blood pool in the middle of your like temple.
Yeah.
And that gives you magic and crazy items out of that. But so basically what I did was we had that town that spawned next to us.
Yeah.
And I kept telling like your brother-in-law or your sister's boyfriend to not kill everyone. I was like, I need to breed them so that I can keep a stock of death.
Yeah.
Because he was running around just murdering them. And I was like, no. They're my blood pool. Because animals
together though and go insane.
That's fine, because I just basically catch them with my safari net and then drop next to my portal and then murder them.
Oh man.
And so I would murder animals, but animals don't give you nearly as much blood as a human.
It's so interesting.
I was really fun too, and it saddens me because I stopped playing. It kind of fell off. But I was trying to build that like blood altar like ominously right next to your base, so there would be these dark clouds and this hideous like fucking like giant ziggurat next to your base, flowing with blood. You'd be like, "Hey, John, what are you up to over there? What's going on? A lot of dead bodies going on."
Of course, that would also be right next to your like weird fairyland.
Yes, my fairyland, my Botania fairy waterland. That was fun. That was awesome, actually. Yeah. Some of those Botania items are real nice, like the pogo stick jumping thing.
Mm-hmm. The hang glider was the best.
Yeah, the hang glider's not from Botania. And actually, the elytra is a thing added to this, which is basically like a hang glider. So that
really well.
Yeah, but the only problem with the hang glider is that it's in the end, and it's after you beat the end dragon you can get it, because it shows up spawning in, like in the end there are floating ships in the air that look like little pirate ships.
Oh.
And inside that pirate ship, there'll be like a chest with a bunch of loot in it, which apparently the loot's been upgraded as well. So like more exciting loot shows up in those chests and dungeons.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more armor, and enchanted armor shows up. So it's a little bit easier to gear yourself up. It shows up in an item frame in every single spawned ship. And it's basically, and it allows you to, it's more than just the hang glider. It has its own mechanics, so you're not just constantly gliding downwards. You can actually, it's like the Mario cape a little bit, from Super Mario World, where you can kind of go up and down a little bit.
Bob a bit.
Yeah, exactly. But it looked really cool. And it's nice that they're adding that. But I mean, still, it's like hard to get excited when it's like, I'm just going to play Resonant Rise, and it has a billion awesome mods in it that are fun to play. I don't know. I have to get back into Minecraft at some point. We'll at some point we'll get another server going. Just wait for another mod pack to come out that it's the new hotness.
Yeah.
Because I kind of played I played a ton of all of the different versions of Minecraft that exist. Like, I pretty much, you and I, we did like all the Tekkit stuff basically.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, I wanted to try the Botania stuff, and I basically did the whole tree of Botania except for the high level shit that is like difficult to do. What else did we do? You did I did a nuclear thing as well.
Yeah, I did the nuclear reactor that worked.
I did.
Well.
Yeah, I built a single player server that I built a base, and I did the nuclear reactor because I wanted to try out big reactors. So I got that done, and I was like, that was neat. I didn't even cheat that much to get it. I had to cheat a little bit, but
yeah.
Just because I don't know. That's the problem with the modded Minecraft. Sometimes stuff doesn't spawn right. And you're like, I don't have this item that spawns in this world, but you need it for this mod. So there's a miscommunication with the mods here when the world was created.
Yeah.
Anyway. That's cool. Good for that. I don't know. Did you get it for Windows 10?
No.
You didn't get your free copy?
No.
Oh, why not? It was free.
It's a different version, isn't it?
Yeah, but it was free. It doesn't stop you from having the other version.
I don't know. I don't fuck with other weird versions.
It's the 1.9. I mean, it's just a Windows 10 store version. But if you own the Mojang version, you get the Windows 10 store version for free for like I don't know. It was like for like 6 months or something. I don't know if it's still available, but whatever. I just figured it's free. Give it to me.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep. But I don't think that one's moddable. That one's the one that's not built in Java as well. Yeah. But we got to end. We're done. Adam, word of the week.
Lucario Night.
That is not a real word.
It is the Megastone that
makes Lucario.
Mega Lucario.
I have Mega Lucario, one of my favorite guys I have in my XY team.
I bet. He's super cool.
He's fucking badass. And my Mega Charizard's badass too.
Yeah. Oh, do you have like the Mega Charizard X one? Where he turns like all black and looks super badass?
I do not have that one.
Oh, that's a cool one.
You should get that one.
Yeah.
I should. All right. Well, maybe I'll have it by next week. No, I'm playing Alpha Sapphire.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. The website is bornintheeighties.net. Adam has not renewed it, I'm assuming?
No.
Renew that.
I got to like April 15th. I'm good.
Okay, but do you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do. I checked.
You did?
It's $29. Yep, I'm good.
59 days from the 7th. So yeah, you got till like April 7th.
Or whatever, yeah.
Well, that's getting closer. We're about a month away. But do that. Someone will steal that hot domain.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
I'm
not.
Sure.
But you can check us out there, and I played The Crew. I put a video up of that. Adam and I adventures in Divinity Original Sin continue. I put another one of those up this weekend. We escaped from the end of the world area that we took an hour to get out of.
Yeah, I saw that.
And we attempt our prison break, which you'll see next week if that goes well or not.
Yeah.
I bet you can guess. Yeah, the NPCs don't like it when you do stuff like that.
Not really.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Let me find the Google Doc. There's a lot of shit on here.
Yeah.
Did you add anything?
Nope.
Great.
There's already a bajillion things.
Yeah, but they're all me things.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. You didn't have anything else?
I watched like the Pokemon movies, the first two.
All right. Sounds like you had a thrilling week.
Yep, pretty much.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
Oh, balls. I forgot my pad. It's in my pants. I'll be back. It's downstairs.
Okay.
1 second.
Yep.
Vamp.
Yep. Yep. Vamping while he goes down to get stuff in his pants. I'm just vamping do till he gets that stuff. The stuff that he needs is what he's gonna get. He's gonna get that stuff he needs, and that is why I vamp. Taking longer than I thought, but we're gonna do it anyway. Vamping. Yeah, vamping. Is he back yet? Nope. Wait, I think I heard him coming up the stairs. And now my vamping job is done. Dum, dum.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Got the pad.
right?
Okay. Back.
Cool.
Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Let me catch my breath. Just ran up the stairs.
Sure.
How's your day?
Fine.
Like cheer wine?
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right.